Hello, you are welcome to Daniel's Entertainment. If this is your first time coming across this channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Please like, comment, and share this video with friends. Thank you.
Ebuka celebrates his wife's birthday with heartwarming post. Today, being Monday, November 28th, marks another birthday celebrations for Ebuka's wife. The lawyer and TV host Ebuka Obi Uchendo is celebrating his wife Cynthia's 32nd birthday in a special way. Taking to his Instagram page, the TV personality shared cute and goofy pictures of him and his wife, captioning them with a sweet message for her. In his word, he said, "The past year was a bit of a roller coaster for you, but the one thing I learned is that you are way tougher than even you imagined. Such a dope chick. Now, I'm loving the positive vibes you're going into this new year with. Besides the fact that the glow is about to be even more blinding, I can't imagine all the blessings that lie ahead if life with you has been this amazing already. Happy birthday, Oyenkemu. Thanks for showing me what true kindness, loyalty, and selfless love actually looks like. You are a shining star, and I love all of you." Recall that the couple began their love journey in April 2015 when Ebuka proposed to Cynthia at a private dinner in Lagos. On October 3rd, 2015, they had their engagement and traditional wedding ceremony in Umueze, Neni. The couple then sealed things with their white wedding, which took place on February 6, 2016. Okay, moving on from the news about Ebuka and his wife, moving on to the federal government. The federal government has said that if you have to use the Abuja-Kaduna train, you must have NIN. The Minister of Transportation says the federal government has learned lessons from the attack that led to the suspension of the service in March. The federal government has said that any Nigerian who wishes to use the Abuja-Kaduna train services must register their phone numbers and national identification number (NIN) at the point of ticket purchase. The federal government said this ahead of the planned resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna train services. The government, through the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC), said identity verification devices will be deployed at each train station for the identification of passengers' identities. The NRC also warned passengers against using their NIN to purchase tickets for unknown persons. This, according to the agency, may lead to criminal prosecution. While addressing journalists on Sunday, being yesterday, the 27th of November 2022, the Minister of Transportation, Muazu Sambo, said part of the measures put in place is the ticketing. As you know, security starts from ticketing now, and I cannot buy a ticket unless you have a valid phone number and the national identification card. And if you're a foreigner, there must be means of identification that can be used, produced by the NIMC office. According to the minister, the federal government has learned lessons from the attack that led to the suspension of the service in March. Sambo said the federal government has executed the resumption of commercial operation on the Abuja-Kaduna train service by 1 week, but did not give a specific date for the resumption of the train service. The minister had earlier said that the NRC would not resume operation on the corridor until all those kidnapped by the bandit on March 28, 2022 are rescued and reunited with their families. It will be recalled that in March, Boko Haram terrorists attacked a moving passenger train in Kaduna. The terrorists bombed the rail tracks and abducted over 60 passengers. 6 months after the attack, a terrorist negotiator, Tuku Mamu, who negotiated between terrorists and families of kidnapped victims, were arrested on Tuesday, September 6, 2022 in Cairo, Egypt, while on his way to Saudi Arabia. The DSS alleged that Mamu was part of an international terrorist network and used the cover of journalism to perpetrate his deed. Moving on to more trending news, the newly elected governor of Osun State, Adeleke, has suspended the Osun Election Commission chair and its members. Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun has ordered the immediate suspension of the chairman and members of the State Independent Electoral Commission (OSIEC). This is contained in a statement issued by the Secretary to Osun State Government, Mr. Teslim Igbalaye, on Monday. Igbalaye said the decision for the suspension was sequel to several petitions bordering on alleged financial impropriety and abuse of office brought against the chairman and members of his commission. Governor Adeleke has directed the immediate suspension of the chairman of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission (OSIEC), known as Mr. Segun Oladitan. Others are Mr. Yusuf Oyiniran, Alhaja Subat Adubi, Prince Yinka Ajiboye, Mrs. Aboseda Omibeku, Mr. Dosu Gidigbi, and Mr. Wahab Adewoye. The suspension is sequel to several petitions bordering on financial impropriety, the dereliction of duty, absenteeism, and abuse of office against the said chairman and members of the commission. Pending the outcome of investigation, the secretary of the commission said that he shall hold forth in running the affairs of the commission. This is being noted by the state government. Okay, people, remember we are all out here to give you more trending news as they go. So now the Nigerian police have arrested 30 suspected railway vandals. The Railway Police Command on Monday said that 30 suspected railway vandals were arrested between September and October 2022. This is contained in a statement issued by CP Yetunde Longe, the Commissioner of Police for the command. The News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that President Muhammadu Buhari has given directives to all service chiefs and Nigerian police force to safeguard the railway infrastructure across the federation. Following the directives from the President, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba Akali, directed the Railway Police Command to engage the Direct Action Response Tactics known as DART, to effectively protect the railway corridor from vandals. The command recorded big success on September 8, acting upon credible information, as men of the Railway Police Command swooped on some criminal elements that had been involved in recurrent vandalism and theft of railway iron sleepers at this section KM 1086 Shemetan in Faskare local government of Katsina State, leading to the arrest of 14 suspects. It was gathered that the suspects, after their exchange of fire with the policemen, abandoned a trailer truck with reg number Nasrawa LFA 307XB and a Sharon car. However, further relentless combing of the crime scene led to the arrest of the suspect on September 10th, she said. The CP identified the suspect as Mohammed Lawan, being 35 years of age, Uman Gaba, 28 years of age, Sahana Ilyasu, 22 years of age, Bashiru Abdullahaman, 20 years of age, Dauda Musa, 27 years of age, Ahmad Sani, 21 years of age, Muhammad Haruna, 20 years of age. Others are Gaddafi Bala, 21 years of age, Ali Umar, 25 years of age, Wudiama Tahiru, 23 years of age, John Jacob, 22 years of age, Ezekiel Gumret, 26 years of age, and Suleiman Musa, 20 years of age. Similarly, on September 26, 2022, the Regasa Railway Division Police Headquarters arrested 5 suspects in connection with the vandalism of some windows frame at Gidan Buses substation. She said Longe identified the suspect as Sadi Mohammed, being 26 years of age, Nasiru Yakubu, 35 years of age, Yao Ibrahim, 26 years of age, while 2 others, Buhari Samilia, 25 years of age, and Aliyu Abdullahi, 24 years of age, were also arrested for the same crime on October 17, 2022. The police commissioner said that the police officers at the Funtua Railway Police Division, Katsina State. The commissioner added that her men also raided the hideouts of some notorious railway vendors and arrested 4 suspected vendors who were in possession of 100 railway iron slippers and 60 cut-to-size triangular iron pieces belonging to the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC. The CP said that on November 4th and 14th, men of the Kafanchan Railway Police Station and the men of the Nigerian Army School of Artillery intercepted 2 trucks with registration number MJB 367XA and DAL 754ZX. The trucks were loaded with 45 and 37 long rail irons respectively. 3 suspects each: Adamu Lawal, 32 years of age, Tajuddin Yusuf, 27 years of age, Suleiman Lawal, 19 years of age, Abdulkadir Idris, 45 years of age, Gabasulay, 37 years of age, and Biaminu Ahmadu, 37 years of age, were arrested in connection with the crime, she said. The CP said that Bauchi Divisional Headquarters, upon a credible tip-off, also intercepted a J5 bus with registration number XC318BAU. The suspects in the bus, upon sighting the policeman, fled, abandoning the bus loaded with 50 pieces of railway slippers concealed with firewood. The bus and exhibit has been taken into the police custody while investigation to apprehend the suspects continues. Recently, in Port Harcourt Railway Police Division, the Police Division of Port Harcourt Railway also made an arrest of 1 suspect at the Port Harcourt Railway Station. The suspect, James Wisdom, 25 years of age, was caught stealing some seats of first-class train coaches parked at the railway station, Longe said. The Commissioner of Police said that investigation would swiftly concluded and the culprits will be duly charged to court. Coming up with another trending news, former Super Eagles player Mikel Obi had said that he has never liked Cristiano Ronaldo. Mikel Obi picks his choice between Messi and Ronaldo. He reveals his World Cup favourite. The Super Eagle legend has come up against 2 of football's greatest ever players, but he's only ever had one favourite between the legendary duo. John Obi Mikel has seemingly revealed his pick between the age-old debate between 2 of football's greatest ever players, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Speaking in an interview on Tuesday, November 22, 2022, after Argentina's shock opening group match loss in Saudi Arabia, the Chelsea icon has backed Barcelona's skipper Lionel Messi to bounce back from their opening match setback when they face Mexico. Argentina assumed the lead in the 7th minute after Lionel Messi scored a penalty and saw 3 goals ruled out for offside in the opening 45 minutes. However, the South Americans totally collapsed in the second period as Hervé's Renard side staged an epic comeback against this year's favourites with 2 goals in 5 minutes, courtesy of strikes from Salah Al-Shehri and Salem Al-Dawsari in the 48th and 53rd minute respectively. The shocking upset was met with widespread reactions on social media, with fans taunting Argentina's keeper Messi following the disappointing result. But Super Eagles legend Mikel Obi has now shared his admiration for the PSG maestro and believe he can help Lionel Scaloni's Albacete bounce back. The result doesn't change my prediction, definitely not. I still think they will go all the way. I'm a big Messi fan, so I hope he can still go all the way. He revealed in an interview with Dubai-based OAP Robbie Greenfield. When also asked about what other teams to look out for this year's edition, Mikel said, of course, England is going to be there, France, Brazil. I think one of them are going to do it, but I'm still sticking with Argentina. Mikel also added his admiration for Messi, who he described as the greatest player ever. There is still hope for Argentina. I mean, the greatest player ever, in my opinion. I still think he is going to do it, he said. Mikel makes his feeling clear about Cristiano Ronaldo amid Manchester United exit. Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo on Tuesday night, November 22nd, 2022, announced the termination of the 37-year-old contract by mutual consent following his explosive interview with popular journalist Piers Morgan. Following the news, Super Eagles legend Mikel Obi has now revealed his disposition towards the Portuguese superstar. I've never been a Ronaldo fan, really. For me, when a player has so much ego, I don't really get it. He's never been one of my favorites. He's never been one of my favorite players, and that's why I always go for Messi, really. He said in an interview with Dubai Eye. When asked about the problem the former Manchester United star poses to other managers' dressing room, Mikel said, "No, definitely. I mean, if someone comes out and gives such an interview, what makes you think if he signs for your club in January, he won't do the same? So, I mean, every club is going to be aware of that. But listen, he is Cristiano Ronaldo. He is one of the greatest players to ever have played the game. I think he's going to get another club in January and continue his football career. But for me, it's just a horrible scenario. He's done so much for the club, and to see it end this way is just horrible. On his part, really, I would say that interview shouldn't have been done. Wrong timing as well. It's not just right. It doesn't look right for such a player that have achieved so much in the game." The former Manchester United and Chelsea midfielder also commented when asked if the bombshell interview would have tarnished his legacy at Old Trafford. "I think a little bit, yeah. Even his fans as well right now, they don't agree with the interview. It's very hard to defend him," Mikel added. The 37-year-old Ronaldo scored 145 goals in 346 appearances across two spells for Manchester United and is currently expected to start for Portugal when they take on Ghana on Thursday, November 23rd, in their opening Group H match at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Alright, moving on to Nigeria. Soludo commiserates with victims of Kano street fire in Onitsha. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra has commiserated with victims of the early morning fire which gutted part of Kano Street near Main Market, Onitsha, on Monday. Soludo's message is contained in a statement by Mr. Chris Aburime, his press secretary. The governor expressed sadness over the incident that left shops and goods grazed with attendant huge losses. He said as a responsive government, his administration was already on top of the situation and that investigation was ongoing into the remote and immediate causes of the fire with a view to averting a future recurrence of the disaster. "I commiserate with shops owners over the inferno. Efforts of our emergency responders, like the State Fire Service, contributed in extinguishing the fire and I find their efforts heartwarming," he said. Soludo urged those affected to remain strong and resolute in the face of extreme loss as his government would continue to work with relevant institutions to find lasting solutions to the perennial fire incidences across the state. He directed his deputy Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim, the Commissioner for Power and Water Resources, Mr. Julius Chukwuemeka, and Mr. Sly Eze Okenwa, the Commissioner for Special Duties, to visit the market and convey government commiserations to victims. The governor wishes to use this opportunity to reiterate the need for citizens to adhere to fire safety measures, particularly in this season of the year, he stated. Alright, moving to Nigerian entertainment, Portable makes no effort to appeal to the mainstream in Ika of Africa. In his new album, Ika of Africa, Portable makes no effort to appeal to mainstream listeners despite sparking their interest through his rockstar lifestyle. On 25th November 2022, street pop act Portable dropped a new album he calls Ika of Africa, and the project comes off the back of what has been a successful year. Some listeners might have expected Portable to adjust his sound and deliver music that can help sustain the interest of the mainstream audience he has garnered since Olamide Bado delivered a verse on Zazu's remix. However, Portable opts to stay in familiar territory for reasons this writer believes has more to do with a fundamental inability to go beyond the stomping ground and also an understanding of his primary audience. He has gone to shows across Nigeria and even abroad and he has recognized the class of listeners his music appeals to, and it clearly isn't the mainstream. Portable makes street music which is called street because it carries the markers of the everyday life of a below average Nigerian. Just like grime, where the writing, use of street lingo and vulgarities, and delivery, angry and confrontational, conveys the life of a particular underserved demographic. Nigerian street music, Southwest Yorubas, is a combination of popular sonic elements, Afrobeats, that are founded on indigenous music, Fuji, Juju, Akpala, and highlife. Now, like grime, where the music conveys raw emotion of anger and confrontation, Fuji music, for example, carries the unrefined elements of live street music, which haven't undergone sophisticated sound engineering. While street art makes a version of popular music, the music carries underlying street elements, rawness, vulgarity, and simplistic composition. An alternative listener is likely to know what a Portable album would offer, just like we know what to expect from Q Dot. Portable's music has found a Fuji which is evident in his delivery, vocal manipulation, and even writing. Perhaps if Afrobeats didn't exist as an artist like Portable would be a Fuji musician. On his new album, he adorns his street regalia as he delivers songs whose content is fundamentally street. While he recruited street hit producers Rexy and Shocker Beats, the album mainly consists of relatively unknown street producers. In the album, he talks about familiar subjects of struggle, success, and individualism, while also displaying the belief in God, exploring the tacticism and a level of vulgarity that's not strange to street music. In Apostle, he mocks the experience of a particular pastor based in Kaduna who ascribed his survival of an armed attack from government to God rather than the bulletproof car he rode. The song is another criticism of clerics who doesn't practice what they preach, given that the security men of the clerics in question were not in bulletproof cars and they lost their lives in the incident. Never let your emotion overpower your intelligence, he says in Plan B, where he explores individuality and boasts about his ability to work alone. For a troubleshooting artist, Portable offers himself as an example of resources that come with not caring much about the opinion of others. In Agbara and Oluwa Where You Dey, he prays for success while admitting to his imperfections. He celebrates his success in Grateful, One Man, and Get Money First, where he echoes his famous Get Money Before You Love line He thumps his chest as a street act in Streety Takeover, where he interpolates a famous line from Clever J's Igboro Tidaru and track 5 of Shahid Osokpa Reliable album. In the supercharged Amapiano record, Jimasun, he celebrates money while boldly singing about online fraud while reminding listeners that he does music for a living. In Kayamata, he opts for vulgarity as he talks about street sex culture, which may be unbearably vulgar for the average listener but on brand for his target audience. In the street hard record, anonymous Evan Pablo, like a Fuji artist, he sings the praises of some personalities of their generosity. All through the album, Portable predominantly sings in Yoruba, using adages and street slangs, while his delivery fundamentally carries Fuji melody, flow schemes, and rhyme patterns. Dix makes for a similar sound that is separated by the beat and topic. There are times when he muses like a philosopher and delivers lines that suggest he put some thought into it. This highlights a more cerebral side of the artist, whose music and artists suggest a scatterbrained personnel. In terms of production, the album carries heavy, unrefined street elements that might be too street for the average listener. His vocals run parallel to the beats, and the sound engineering is clearly poor. While the album could have used better sound engineering to better serve a mainstream audience, its rawness wouldn't bother Portable's main base. Now, the final point, the title of the album and the tracks basically explain the audience from whom it was crafted. The Sonic doesn't bother to adjust for mainstream appeals, and even though the album has a trending sound in Amapiano, Portable imposed a street cadence that strips it of its mainstream appeal. There are songs on the album such as Woto Woto, Agbara, Anonymous Evan Pablo, and Jemason that have the quality to become street hits, albeit they might not have the social media traction needed for average listeners to measure its street success. At any rate, the album isn't created for the mainstream, and an average consumer who wishes to listen to Ika of Africa must be tolerant of the sound, and then they might get to understand the music. Moving on to the foreign scene, Kim Kardashian, Balenciaga brand ambassador, criticizes the company for its use of child pornography. Kim penned down her thoughts on the child porn debacles on her Instagram stories, following the troubling pictures of subliminal child pornography messages in Balenciaga's latest campaign. Kim Kardashian, who is Balenciaga's brand ambassador, is taking a stand and finally speaking out. She does this after people online repeatedly ask her to call out the company. Kim is a mother of 4 children she had with her ex-husband Kanye West. She took to her Instagram stories to say, "I have been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted or outraged by the recent Balenciaga's campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to the team to understand for myself how this could have happened. As a mother of 4 children, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of our children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempt to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period. As for my future with Balenciaga, I am currently re-evaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off their willingness to accept accountability for something that should never have happened to begin with, and the action I am expecting to see them take to protect children." Moving to the world of football, is Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool reign entering its final stage? History suggests that it is. Undoubtedly, the biggest surprise of the current Premier League season is Liverpool's catastrophic form. In short, very few could have predicted that the Reds would be out of the title race by the time the clocks went back as the end of October, following a season where only an inspired comeback from Manchester City in the final minutes of the campaign denied Liverpool the Premier League trophy being handed to them. Tellingly, if you bet online on the outright markets on who the potential champions of England could be, then you see the Reds at a staggering 80/1 to win the league before the Winter World Cups have even started. With this odd in mind, it won't come as a surprise then to learn that this page, which consists of sports board betting offers as well as the latest prediction on the Premier League title race, has already written Liverpool off. As touched on, it has been an unexpected and shocking slide since going toe-to-toe with City last term. Admittedly, those heady days of early spring feels like a long way away now as the club lurches from one inconsistent performer to the next. Naturally, when a side's form drops off to the alarming extent that Liverpool's has, attention being to focus on how much time the manager will be given to arrest the tailspin, attention being to focus on how much time the manager will be given to arrest the tailspin the club finds itself in. In Jurgen Klopp's case, there is certainly no danger of having the Anfield crowd turn on him, given how much the German has done for the club since he arrived in Merseyside in October 2015. In other words, Klopp's cult hero's status among the Liverpool fan base remains undiminished, with supporters in the little doubt that the good times will come again under the German. However, a different narrative can be found in Dortmund, the city where Klopp managed for 7 years. Indeed, the Borussia Dortmund fans will tell you that for all of their unending affection for Klopp, there are now striking similarities between his final season at the Westphalia Stadium and the current ongoings at Anfield. Below, we look at why the writing appears to be on the wall. We are going to look at the discipline on the touchline. One of Klopp's most appealing features is the way he passionately conducts himself on the touchline. He is, after all, seen as a fellow fan by the supporters of the club that he managed. That admirable enthusiasm of kicking every ball for his team, though, has recently bubbled over after the German was sent off against City, flowing in altercations with the linesman closest to his technical area. Once the exchange in question was relayed back to on-field referee Anthony Taylor, it was enough for the official to immediately send him off. Whilst that may feel like a one-off to Liverpool fans, the Dortmund supporter would have been watching on with an eyebrow raised as Klopp was only sent off in almost the same circumstances after launching a barrage of abuse at the linesman during a narrow defeat to Borussia Mönchengladbach during his final season at the Bundesliga. Essentially, Klopp seems to be at breaking point, like he was at Dortmund in the end time when results were going against his team. Klopp has always enjoyed a somewhat topsy-turvy relationship with the media. These days, however, the German seems to be taking exception to most questions he is asked, which leads to an overly snarky response every time he is in front of the world press. The most recent example was when the Liverpool boss ridiculed ex-Red player Dietmar Hamann after the midfielder said that his former club were currently lacking a spank under Klopp. It was a fairly harmless comment, but once relayed back to Klopp in the media room, the German replied by saying, "Oh, great. He is a fantastic source, well respected everywhere." It was needlessly sarcastic from the Liverpool manager, and again we can draw parallels from his end days in Dortmund when Klopp was accused of having a thin skin after walking out of multiple post-match interviews when confronted with questions he felt were stupid. The final link we can observe from Klopp's disastrous last season with Dortmund was his team's lack of desire on the field, which ultimately led to his contract being terminated at the end of the 2015 season. Perhaps if we focus on Graham Souness's recent comment following a shock 2-1 loss against Leeds United at home, we can get a better understanding of how a similar route seems to be setting in at Liverpool. Speaking in the Sky Sports studio following the loss, the Scot said that the golden rule of football was getting the ball first. It was typical Souness, simplistic, firm and uncompromising, but also true, and club's team are unable to win 50-50 contests anymore. Another damning start from that evening at Anfield was that Leeds outrun Liverpool by 11 kilometers. In conclusion, if you combine a sudden surge of ill-discipline, weekly fights with the media, and a team that no longer has the same output, you will get all the reason why club's time at Dortmund came to a sudden end. Could history be repeating itself? It certainly feels like it. Moving on to Manchester United, this is what Cavani said about Ronaldo's return to Manchester United. The former teammate at Old Trafford will lock horns later tonight when Portugal takes on Uruguay at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Former Manchester United forward Edinson Cavani recalled what happened when Cristiano Ronaldo rejoined the Red Devils last summer. Cavani knew his time at the club was done and dusted with the moment it became clear that the Portuguese would be reunited with his former club. The 35-year-old, who has scored 17 goals in 39 matches during his debut season with the English giant, saw his game time reduced following the arrival of Ronaldo. Speaking to ESPN Brazil, the Uruguayan forward recounted that he had to call his brother first the moment he found out Ronaldo was set to return. At the moment it was done, I thought it was a good thing for Manchester to sign Cristiano, Cavani told ESPN Brazil via Miro. Cavani would have loved to leave handed over the famous number 7 to Ronaldo after he rejoined last summer, but admits he considered leaving the club. The first thing I did was call my brother, Walter Fernando Gulgilmone, who also acts as his agent, and said, "Fernando, if this had happened a week ago, I would ask you to find me another club," he added Palmiro. But not because I didn't want to play with Ronaldo, no, because I had the opportunity to know him and he's a great professional with his target, and that is perfect for a sportsman. But as I know, after years of football, how things work these days, that's why I spoke to my brother. Cavani enjoyed limited game time at Old Trafford following Ronaldo's return to the club, making just 20 appearances and scoring just 2 goals. He left the club for free to join La Liga side Valencia last summer, with Ronaldo now on the move after his contract was terminated by the club. Meanwhile, later tonight at the Lusail Iconic Stadium in Doha, the pair will meet again, this time as opponents. Ronaldo's Portugal goes head-to-head with Cavani's and Uruguay in the second game in Group H at the FIFA World Cup. The Monday game will be a repeat of the encounter between the two players 4 years ago when Ronaldo netted a brace to inspire Portugal to a 2-1 victory. Burundi's president reaches out to the Tanzanian bank CRDB for the formation of a female and youth-led economy. The president of Burundi is looking to foster a female and youth-led economy. He has called on the Tanzania Financial Institution CRDB to create empowerment scheme for females and young Burundians. CRDB has existed in Burundi for a decade now and is synonymous with making an impact in the country. Africa has a boisterous youth population that is not being utilized enough. The youngest population of any continent resides in Africa, and this human capital is key to building a very prosperous economy. Coupled with a female population eager to participate in economic activities at every level, from the grassroots level to public office, Africa houses a people that could transform the continent state from one of the poorest on the globe to the richest. With knowledge of this, the president of Burundi, Mr. Evariste Ndayishimiye, has invited CRDB Bank to initiate programs that empower women and young people within the country. His goal is to create an economy that largely involves the contribution of women and young people. The president made the call after he received a delegation of CRDB's bank officials led by Chief Executive Officers Mr. Abdulmajid Nsekela. CRDB, a Tanzanian bank, has experienced success since coming into Burundi. It was revealed to the president that the foreign bank, which has been in the country for a decade now, has provided financial education and services that have changed the lives of Burundians in numerous ways. We are grateful that Tanzania participated to a great extent in achieving peace in Burundi, and now you are coming to make progress together for the benefit of the country and the entire East Africa community, said President Ndayishimiye. The president also lauded his administration for following and for allowing smooth operations of the Tanzanian bank in Burundi. He noted that it was due to this cooperation that CRDB Bank's Burundi's subsidiary was now a profitable entity. We will focus on the use of technology to be able to include more Burundians in the formal financial system. I am pleased that our plans to use agency banking and continue to do well, and now we have more than 600 agents who help provide services to our clients, the president added. Okay, moving on to the Labour Party presidential candidate. Police says the man caught with jackknife didn't attempt to assassinate Peter Obi. Charges has been filed against the suspect in court, according to the police. The Oyo State Police Command says the man who was caught in possession of a double-faced jackknife at the Labour Party rally in Oyo State did not attempt to assassinate the presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi. The police identified the man as Lateef Wasiu, who was arrested at the Lekan Salami Stadium at Adamasingba in Ibadan, the venue of the rally. In the video showing how the suspect was caught and arrested, it was claimed that Wasiu attempted to kill Obi, but contrary to his claim, the spokesperson for the police command, Adewale Osifeso, in a statement said the suspect did not make an assassination attempt on the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Osifeso, however, said the suspect acted contrary to extant laws, especially the 2022 Electoral Act, by bringing a weapon to the rally ground, adding that charges have been filed against him in court. Osifeso said preliminary investigations revealed that the event was characterized with effective deployment of operational, tactical, and intelligence assets, which was monitored under the highest levels of professionalism. He was arrested by police operatives stationed at the venue for being in possession of a concealed weapon, a double-faced jackknife, on the side of his suit in violation of the 2022 Electoral Act and other guiding regulations. Effectively, the command wishes to reiterate that there was no assassination attempt on the life of Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. Contrary to widespread unfounded speculations, Lateef Wasiu has already been charged to court. Obi became the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in June, days after he dumped the People's Democratic Party. Over to Manchester United again. Manchester United interested in big money move for Netherlands star. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag is reportedly close to getting a replacement for the departed Cristiano Ronaldo. Cody Gakpo is a top target for Manchester United. Manchester United are reportedly advancing in talks to sign Cody Gakpo from PSV. The 23-year-old has scored in each of the Netherlands' 2 World Cup games so far. He has also scored 13 goals for PSV this season, having also contributed a huge 17 assists. The Red Devils are in the market for attacking reinforcements, and the manager, Ten Hag, views Gakpo as the perfect attacking piece to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. United spoke to Gakpo about a potential move over the summer before Erik ten Hag opted to shell out $85 million for Anthony. The player admitted it was a shame that the move didn't come off but hasn't let it impact his form this season. Gakpo is a player United has been heavily linked with since the summer, and the departure of Ronaldo makes it even more imperative. Gakpo can operate either as a winger or a central forward, and his ability to create chances at a high rate as well as score goals with alluring to several top clubs in the world, despite the recent reports it is believed that United still have a lot of work to do to get a deal over the line. Still in the World Cup Qatar 2022, kudos to Ghana as Black Stars overcome South Korea's scare to revive World Cup dream. Mohamed Kudus has become the second youngest African to score 2 goals in a FIFA World Cup match after an inspired performance against South Korea. The Black Stars of Ghana are back in contention for a place in the FIFA World Cup round of 16 after an impressive 3-2 win over South Korea. Ghana put in a performance of the highest quality but had to survive a second half scare being seen of the stubborn Koreans. Mohamed Kudus was the hero of the day for the Black Stars after he scored a brace with Jordan Ayew also in superb form for Ghana in the game. For the first half, South Korea started on the front foot and dominated most of the possessions, but it was Ghana who scored the goals at. Having weathered the early storm from the Tigug Warriors, the Black Star took over control of the game when Mohamed Salisu broke the deadlock on the 24th minute. Jordan Ayew sent in a dangerous delivery from a free kick on the left wing, which Korean failed to deal with. Salisu reacted the quickest to the loose ball and fired home the opener to put Ghana in front. There was a moment of suspense moment later as the VAR considered ruling out a goal for a handball after it came off the hand of Dede Ayew in the build-up to the goal. But there will be a second celebration led by the scorer, Salisu, as the VAR decided the goal was a legitimate one. 10 minutes later, things went from bad to worse for South Korea as Ghana doubled the lead through another Mohamed, this time Kudus, with that man Jordan Ayew involved again. The Crystal Palace man delivered another outstanding cross from the left wing which Kudus glanced superbly into the net and out of reach of the Korean goalkeeper. In the second half, it was looking like a game of two halves when Korea equalizes within 16 minutes of the second 45 minutes. 2 goals in the space of 3 seconds. 2 goals in the space of 3 second half minutes from Korea saw Ghana fall back like a pack of cards. Gyu Sung Cho's quick fire double saw the South Korean Warriors take over the initiative after the 61st minute. However, the man of the match, Kudus, restores Ghana's lead 7 minutes after Korea equalizer. A pass played into the Korean box found Naki Williams, but the athletic Bilbao forward mistimed his effort but would be relieved that Kudus was in the right place and time to fire Ghana's back in front. With his brace against Korea, Kudus, 22 years, 118 days, has become the youngest African player to score twice in the same World Cup match since Nigeria's Ahmed Musa, 21 years, 254 days. Despite a late barrage of attacks from the Tigux Warriors, Ghana head on for the decisive victory and 3 points to revive their World Cup. What the result means: with the win, the Black Star move up to second in Group H on 3 points, while Korea drops to the bottom of the table. Ghana will go into the final group game against Uruguay with their fate firmly in their hands now. the FIFA World Cup 2022 goal scorers Golden Boot ranking, Mbappe is leading Messi in the Golden Boot race for the 2022 Qatar FIFA World Cup. France Kylian Mbappe is back on the World Cup trail, with the 2018 World Champions looking to defend their trophy and win the Golden Boot and perhaps the Golden Ball while at it. Ecuador's surprise package Valencia is in close second, but the striker's injury in the second round of group matches could severely hamper his chances for the World Cup top scorer gong. Lionel Messi has 2 goals and 1 assist so far, while big names Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski both have 1 goal apiece. Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup top scorer list Golden Boot ranking goes thus: Kylian Mbappe 3 goals 1 assist, Valencia 3 goals 0 assists, Lionel Messi 2 goals 1 assist, Mehdi Taremi 2 goals 1 assist, Alvaro Morata 2 goals 1 assist, Bukayo Saka 2 goals 0 assist, Ferran Torres 2 goals 0 assist, Olivier Giroud 2 goals 0 assist, Richarlison 2 goals 0 assist, Cody Gakpo 2 goals 0 assist, Andrej Kramaric 2 goals 0 assists, Mohamed Kudus 2 goals 0 assists, Gyosin Cho 2 goals 0 assists, David Klaassen 1 goal 1 assist, Dami Olmo 1 goal 1 assist, Robert Lewandowski 1 goal 1 assist, Adrien Rabiot 1 goal 1 assist, Raheem Sterling 1 goal 1 assist, Vincent Abubakar 1 goal 1 assist, Jean Charles Castelletto 1 goal 1 assist, Andrew Ayew 1 goal 1 assist, Cristiano Ronaldo 1 goal 0 assist, Osman Bukari 1 goal 0 assist, Rafael Leao 1 goal 0 assist, Ristil Douan 1 goal 0 assist, Pablo Gavi 1 goal 0 assist, Joao Felix 1 goal 0 assist, Jude Bellingham 1 goal 0 assist, Famara Diédhiou 1 goal 0 assist, Carlos Sola 1 goal 0 assist, Craig Goodwin 1 goal 0 assist, Marco Asensio 1 goal 0 assist, Michel Duke 1 goal 0 assist, Marcus Rashford 1 goal 0 assist, Takuma Asano 1 goal 0 assist, Rosberg Kesmi 1 goal 0 assist, Mohamed Muntari 1 goal 0 assist, Bamba Dieng 1 goal 0 assist, Michi Batshuayi 1 goal 0 assist, Gareth Bale 1 goal 0 assist, Ramin Rezaïn 1 goal 0 assist, Saleh Al-Sheri 1 goal 0 assist, Bre Embolo 1 goal 0 assist, Boulaye Dia 1 goal 0 assist, Timothy Weah 1 goal 0 assist, Ike Gundogan 1 goal 0 assist, Porcho Zielinski 1 goal 0 assist, Jack Grealish 1 goal 0 assist, Salem Al-Darsari 1 goal 0 assist, Enzo Fernandez 1 goal 0 assist, Andreas Christensen 1 goal 0 assist, Keita Fuller 1 goal 0 assist, Abdul Hamid Sabiri 1 goal 0 assist, Zakari Abukei 1 goal 0 assist, Marco Livija 1 goal 0 assist, Alfonso Davis 1 goal 0 assist, Lovro Maja 1 goal 0 assist, Niklas Füllkrug 1 goal 0 assist, Eric Maxim Chopo Moting 1 goal 0 assist, Strahinja Pavlovic 1 goal 0 assist, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic 1 goal 0 assist, Alexander Mitrovic 1 goal 0 assist, Mohamed Salusi 1 goal 0 assist. Moving on to the worlds of sports and entertainment, Super Eagles star Ola Aina hails Woman King movie as Film of the Year. The Torino defender has shared his admiration for the 2022 epic blockbuster, which he has now branded as the best film released this year. Super Eagles of Nigeria defender Ola Aina has revealed his favorite movie of the year. As 2022 draws to an end, it's also nice to look back on some of the incredible highlights ahead of the new year, with fans and audiences treated to some great projects from the global entertainment industry. Ola Aina has now revealed the Woman King film as his pick for the best movie of 2022. Aina posted a video on his official Snapchat of himself watching the movie and then tagged it Film of the Year. The highly acclaimed film is a historical epic inspired by true events that took place in the Kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most powerful states of Africa in the 18th and 19th century. The Woman King is a remarkable story of the Agojay, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African Kingdom of Dahomey in the 18th with skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Inspired by true events, the movie followed the emotionally epic journey of General Naniska, played by Oscar winner, and how to get away with murder star Viola Davis as she trains the next generation of recruits and readies them for battle against an enemy determined to destroy their way of life. The movie was met with widespread praises following its release in September, and it's no surprise I now believe the movie is the best film released this year. The 26-year-old Super Eagles wingback is currently on break at the moment, having missed out on this year's World Cup in Qatar. The Super Eagles defender has continued to be a mainstay for his Serie A club, having scored a goal and made 10 appearances for them this season. Torino are currently ninth in the Italian league, and are expected to return to action following the conclusion of the World Cup later in December. There has been ballistic launched in multiple cases of fan violence in Turkish Super League. A goalkeeper flogged with a pole was not the worst case of fan violence in the Göztepe vs Altay game. The Turkish Super League is one of the leagues that are playing through the World Cup, and yesterday, November the 27th, saw 13th placed Göztepe play 11th place Altay in what is a Super League mid-table tie. The game was dominated by the home side before it was abruptly interrupted by what is clearly a flare launched from the Altay fans section into the Göztepe area. The intent is unclear, but the outcome was catastrophic, with 3 fans reportedly injured, including 2 children. 2 ambulances were rushed into the stadium, with 1 fan severely injured and needed to be stabilized immediately. During the pause in proceedings, a fan from the stand ran into the pitch carrying a corner flag pole over his hand. Running uninterrupted and directly towards Altay's goalkeeper Ozan Ozink, the entire stadium had their focus on the ambulance and the disarray going on in the stands. There was no one to realize early enough what the fan was about to do. He got very close to Ozink and had 2 heavy swipes at his head before he was restrained. As reported by Gurbash Singh Chahal, Ozink has a hemorrhage after the unfortunate attack and had a 4 cm deep cut on his head. Altay club president Ayhan Dunda announced some hours after that Ozink had a CT scan. It was a bad event. It was a situation that should not have happened. I saw an explosive material thrown by our supporters and one of the God's supporters during the match. I was very sorry, said Aidan. First of all, I wish him a speedy recovery. It is a shameful situation for me. I hope it will not happen again. I hope our injured friends here and there, first of all, they regain their heads quickly. We were hurt. It shouldn't have happened at all. It didn't suit us, especially at the beginning of the match. Both incidents are directly related to life. It's embarrassing and it's just tough. I just don't want to say anything else. Dr. Kana Kava, Deputy Chief Physician at Dokuz Eylül University Hospital on Oxan Evrim Ozek, received every type of intervention in our hospital. His condition is currently stable. However, we must keep him under observation for 1 to 2 days, said Dr. Kana. Both clubs are located in Izmir and Bros. and brawls broke out outside the stadium as fans from both sides clashed. The governor of Eastman, Yavu Selem Kosgas, has since issued a statement addressing the unfortunate violence. Currently, 13 suspects have been arrested. This incident will not be left behind. It will be investigated to the smallest detail, Kosgas promised. The fans in the stadium were not allowed to leave the stadium up to 5 hours after the incident, and there were several incidents of all other brawls inside and around the stadiums, with videos captured of fans in the stadium and even one of knife violence after it, leaving several victims. The game has been abandoned till further notice. Criminal prosecution are expected for suspected assailants and sanctions for the fan base from both sides. The Super Eagles star Raphael Onyedika and Frank Onyeka link up at the AY's comedy show. The Super Eagles duo were spotted at AY's live show in Newcastle on Sunday, having missed out on the Qatar 2022 World Cup. Super Eagles of Nigerian midfielder Frank Onyeka and Raphael Onyedika are making the most of their break this period amid the ongoing World Cup in Qatar. The pair missed out on this year's edition after Nigeria failed to qualify for the finals, having lost on head-to-head against local rivals Ghana back in March. However, the pair has been making the most of their time away from football during their break. The duo posted a picture of their bromance as they both sometime had to chill in the beautiful city of Paris, France. Onyeka posted a photo of himself and Onyedika on his Instagram page with a tag that read "Beautiful Nights" followed by the France flag. Onyedika himself also posted similarly on his official Instagram, tagging the photo with a location emoji. Frank Onyeka currently plays as a midfielder for Premier League club Brentford FC, while Raphael Onyedika plays in Belgian Jupiler League with Club Brugge. Frank Onyeka also took time out to attend one of the most popular comedy shows out of Africa, AY Live. The event which held on Sunday, November 28, 2022, was hosted in Newcastle, England. The Brentford star was in attendance. The 24-year-old midfielder was also spotted with popular Nigerian comedian and actor AY, who happens to be the host of the show. Onyeka posted a picture of himself and AY holding up a Brentford jersey with the former's name and official number 15, the same number Raphael Onyedika wears for Club Brugge as well. Machina defeats Lawan as Appeal Court affirmed him as APC candidate for UB North. The court dismissed Lawan's appeal as lacking in merit. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday, November 28, 2022, affirmed Bashir Sheriff Machinas as the All Progressive Congress APC candidate for UB North Senatorial District. The court upheld the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Damaturu, Yobe State, which held that the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, is not the authentic candidate of the APC for UB North Senatorial District in next year's election. In September, the High Court nullified Lawan's candidacy, stating that the Senate President did not participate in the legally recognized primary election of the APC to select its candidate for the 2023 elections. Delivering judgments on the appeal filed by the President of the Senate on Monday, a three-man panel led by the President of the Court, Justice Monica Dongban Messen, dismissed Lawan's appeal as lacking in merit. It would be recalled that Lawan did not participate in the APC senatorial primary in Yobe because he participated in the presidential primary of the ruling party as a presidential aspirant. While he lost the primary to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Machina won the Yobe North senatorial ticket, following his defeat at the presidential primary. The Senate President asked Machina to relinquish the senatorial ticket to him, but the latter refused. Thereafter, the APC submitted Lawan's name to the Independent National Electoral Commission as his senatorial candidate for Yobe North. The development prompted Machina to head to court to seek redress. He asked the court to declare him as the authentic candidate of the party, and his prayer was granted. The federal government's Ways and Means borrowing from CBN hits 23.77 trillion naira. The federal government has increased the amount it owes the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to 23.77 trillion after it recently took another 6.31 trillion through Ways and Means advances. As of December 2021, the amount borrowed by the federal government from the CBN stood at 17.46 trillion, and the amount has risen to 23.77 trillion in October 2022. Whether the federal government has a shortfall in its budget, it uses Ways and Means advances, a loan facility it obtains from the CBN to offset the shortfall. This is according to Section 38 of the CBN Act of 2007, which states that the Apex Bank may grant temporary advances to the federal government with regards to temporary deficiency of budget revenues at such rate of interest as the bank may determine. This 23.77 trillion naira which the federal government owes the CBN is not captured in the country's total public debt. It's not captured in the country's total public debt stock, which currently stands at 42.84 trillion as of June 2022. The 42.84 trillion public debt stock is a combination of the debts of the federal government, 36 states, and the FCT. Speaking on the issues, the CBN opposed a move saying the continuous borrowing by the FG from the Ways and Means advance will have adverse effects on the policies that guide the country's finances. The Apex banks also added that the bank's monetary policy would be affected too, and that could also directly affect domestic prices and exchange rate. The direct consequences of central banks' financing of deficit are distortions or surges in the monetary base, leading to adverse effect on domestic prices and exchange rate. That is macroeconomic instability because of excessive liquidity that has been injected into the economy, it says. There have been arguments over the federal government browsing, which analyst says has exceeded the allowed threshold as provisions in the Act of pegged monetary financing of fiscal deficit at the 5% of the prior year's revenue. Global financial institutes like the Fitch Global Rating and the World Bank has consistently warned the federal government following this process. In January 2021, Fitch Global Rating Agency expressed concern over this development, warning the federal government against repeated recourse to this window. The World Bank has also admonished the federal government financing deficit by borrowing through the Ways and Means advances, saying this put fiscal pressure on the country's expenditures. The federal government, however, has kept borrowing from the CBN to fund budget deficits despite several warnings by these organizations and experts. Another news coming up, iPhone production to drop by 30% as workers' unrest disrupts operations. The continued unrest at Foxconn, Apple's largest phone assembly plant in China, has caused a drop in iPhone production to about 30%. According to Reuters, workers at Foxconn factories in China's city of Zhengzhou protested the COVID regulations which were set in place at the factory, and this culminated into a full-fledged crisis which disrupted operations. This led to thousands of angry employees walking away from the iPhone assembly factory in the central city of Zhengzhou last month. Amidst protests fueled by inappropriate COVID regulations, employees recently had another reason to initiate more crisis as they accused the factory of shortchanging them and lying about the compensation they offered. Protests started on Tuesday after employees who responded to a job opening stormed the facility and noticed the pay offered was not what was promised. This led to another round of protests on Tuesday night as workers took to the streets to complain over the terms of the new hires payments package and the COVID-related concerns about their living conditions. The protest turned increasingly violent on Wednesday as workers clashed with a large number of security forces, including SWAT team officers. Apple has been particularly hit by these protests, and there have been concerns about the factory's ability to deliver products for the busy holiday period. The Foxconn plant in Zhengzhou accounts for about 70% of global iPhone shipments and is the main production plant for the popular iPhone 14 models. According to a CNN report, the production plant has offered to compensate the newly recruited workers 10,000 yuan, which is approximately $1,400, to exit the world's largest iPhone assembly factory in an attempt to end the clash, which has seriously eaten deep into the company's production schedule. Twitter differentiates verification checkmarks for companies, government accounts, and individuals. Elon Musk has confirmed Twitter will add gray and gold verification checkmarks to the already known blue checkmarks as a means of differentiate accounts presenting individuals, businesses, and governments. Confirmed company accounts on Twitter will have a gold checkmark. Government accounts will have a gray checkmark, while all other individuals, whether celebrities or not, will maintain the blue checkmark. Musk has been embroiled in a wave of uncertainty concerning his plan to roll out the new feature, Twitter Blue, which aims to take over and manage the new subscription features. Ever since he took over the social media platform, Musk has hinted at commercializing the platform by introducing a subscription plan for users who want to keep their verified status and also make the options of having a check mark open for anyone who can afford the $8 monthly subscription payments. The plan had, however, suffered setbacks when trolls and impersonators took the advantage of the plan to launch fake accounts and cause chaos on the platform. Musk has gone ahead to suspend the launch of the feature twice as the platform sought ways to end the impersonation and bring back sanity to the platform. Last week, Elon Musk hinted that Twitter will consider changing the way verification checkmarks for different accounts were presented. He hinted Twitter may go ahead to display different color verification badges for select accounts, a plan